He's not a bat, he's a man who fights crime. And we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time. With John and Niall and a guest who doesn't rhyme. It's Bat Minute!
Attention, citizens of fair Gotham, and welcome once again to Bat Minute Forever, the show that is extending its profit-sharing program to you, the listeners. You get, I don't know, a few cents or something, I guess. I am one of your hosts, John Parker.
And I am making a valiant effort, as always, your co-host, Niall McGowan.
Is that what you do? You make a valiant effort. You fall short, but you've tried. Yeah.
Yes, I'm always just trying to get through, just see if it works. You know,
it's been working so far. So let's hope we can keep it going. And today we are joined by two very, very special guests. Wait a Dune Minute.
What?
It is George Hendricks and Liz Whitaker.
You surprised me. I was like, huh? What? Why? Or did we do something to make you mad?
When is that coming? Or still no date?
It's coming.
Before the year 10,001.
Yeah. Before the movie is set, we will have released this podcast.
At least one episode.
I don't know if we'll be done with it, but we will have released it by then.
You should just do one episode and then just keep teasing that the second one's coming.
Don't think that might not happen because we just a little behind the scenes. Liz will be in Denver next week for actually tomorrow through
I get on a plane tomorrow.
Yeah, and for a conference thing, and she's hanging out with me Wednesday night, and we have plans to do a little bit of recording, and that might be the only thing that ever comes out of it. But we're definitely going to get around and drink and talk about Dune for a little bit.
I'm excited. I actually like the movie.
I do too, but Liz has never seen it, so...
Have you still not watched it?
No, I have now decided that I'm just going to watch it a minute at a time.
Oh my God.
So my slow descent into
madness.
Insanity...
Yeah.
That's going to be a challenge in the best way. That's going to be crazy.
It's going to be fun because we're also going to try our best to turn... her initial watching moments into Patreon content.
This is perfect.
Yep. So we're going to record.
This is also why it
her viewings.
Isn't out yet.
Yeah. And so we have a lot more moving parts on this one than we do in the past. So it's taking a little bit longer to get together.
Well, I was saying though, like, Liz, if you did watch the whole movie and then you just didn't like it, you could just pretend that you were just waiting for the Denis Villeneuve Dune remake to come out, and like, oh, that's what we're always going to cover. We were never going to touch that David Lynch one.
We were just pitching that so that you would be all primed for the pump, you know? Nah.
Well, that'll be out in Blu-ray in 2 years' time or something. Yeah. So just wait till then.
It's not our fault they kept pushing back the release date of that new version.
So we're vamping. We're vamping.
Much like we are here, I think. Anyway, this is Minute 13, and the minute starts with a cackling parachute ride, and it ends with our entrance into Wayne Enterprises.
That friggin' Chuckles McGee, the evac over here, having a great time.
This minute also maybe contain more bad CGI than anything.
I kind of love it though.
It looks like a weird prog rock music video when it's zooming into. To Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah.
I thought it looked like the Phantom Menace or something. It looked like all the CGI you get in the prequel Star Wars movies.
See, the thing is,
I thought it
Go ahead.
I thought it looked like a cartoon, which is why I like
Batman the Animated Series, but bad.
See, maybe it was just fortuitous in the timing, because earlier this week, I rewatched The Frighteners for the first time in a long time. I think that came out 96 or 97.
Yeah.
And the CGI in that is horrific now.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, no, it is awful. It's to the point of distraction. So then seeing this in comparison, I was like, oh, that stands up pretty well in comparison to what I just saw. Because, it's just, they keep doing that thing it's the, when the Gary Busey... not Gary Busey, Jake Busey, when he's in the walls and stuff, and they do that Nightmare on Elm Street thing where he's kind of coming out of the walls, which then they, in the original Elm Street, they did that practically, looks perfect now. Even though a lot of things in that movie don't look perfect now, but that still looks seamless. And then they did it in The Frighteners, and then in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, they did the CGI coming out of the walls. It's like, it always looks bad. Just do it practically, for Christ's sake. You just have to press your face up against a flexible material, and
It's
it'll
not
look like
that
you're coming out
hard,
of the wall.
is it?
They make latex walls for haunted houses.
Yeah.
Use one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
because you want to have safe haunted housing.
I mean, we could afford it in the haunted house my high school choirs put on for a fundraiser. So if we could afford it, I believe a Hollywood movie production can afford
Was
it.
it actually a latex wall, or was it just stitched together condoms?
Hey, the same effect.
I don't know. I wasn't in charge of construction. I can neither confirm.
I feel like
That's,
having that sort of weird patchwork look would be even more terrifying.
It would look like skin.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That'd be great, though. They just announced, like, no, it was condoms, and it was part of the recycling program as well, so they were used previously.
Yeah.
And then-
So you really wanted to make sure you were on the right side of that wall.
They were left over from the residents of this condemned insane asylum.
Hashtag Necronomicondom.
Oh my god.
Because that's literally where we held. It was an abandoned, like it at one point. I'm sorry, that's not true. It was a nursing home.
So there was still a lot of
The
dead
joke
people
still would
there.
have worked. I just got it wrong.
Oh god, I don't even know where to take that. I'll get back to Batman. We should actually start at the beginning here. We are back with Two-Face, and he's just said "see ya" in the previous minute, and jumps out of the helicopter, making his escape. And his parachute kicks in as he cackles. And I did like that he's got the yin yang thing going on with his parachute.
Oh, yeah.
Because is this like big in the animated series or something? The yin and yang?
I mean,
because it's not a symbol I would have put with him, really.
Yeah, so that threw me because that seems very culturally appropriative. And this whole like, oh, you know what? I have this whole duality thing, yin and yang. That's for me. It's like, no, dude, that's not for you. That's for Buddhism, and that's completely opposite of what you are.
And this version of Two-Face doesn't have a dual thing going, really. He's mostly just evil.
Yeah, his whole like good side doesn't exist.
No.
I mean, I was kind of like thinking maybe it was like an allusion to like, oh, because, you know, yin yang's like the perfect balance of natural harmony. So I guess maybe it could be like, oh, his coin flip is nature's justice.
Yeah, but
in
he
his
just
mind?
cheats the coin flip all the time.
Oh yeah, totally. But I think that's his in principle. He's like, oh yeah, no, it's a totally it ties in. It ties in. Maybe it's like one of his goons was just like, I think this is a bit insensitive, Harvey. He's just like, dude, I've spent all night painting this parachute. What the hell do you want from me?
Yeah, another thing, did he paint that
It's
or
the
did
only
he
one
buy
we've
it
got.
from the weird parachute store?
.com.
It looks like a skin you get in a game when you get enough battle points.
Yeah, it's like Fortnite has one of these.
The thing is, because it's at the side of the helicopter too. He also had it painted there. So unless it, like unless he did both of them, or he bought the parachute and he's like, okay, I'll paint the thing at the side of the helicopter as well, or the helicopter had it on the side and it's like, I better paint this parachute.
Or maybe
Like,
it came as a set.
Yeah, or
Like
maybe
he
he
bought
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Maybe he bought everything from Yin and Yang's crazy baddie gear.
Maybe he bought it from Yang, the villain from Psych.
Oh my god, we've uncovered it.
How did none of the rest of you pick that up?
I
I've just been
know.
sitting here patiently waiting. I was like, duh, it's the calling card Yang from Psych.
And I'm such a huge fan of Psych, I'm ashamed. I'm going to go and flog myself after this.
No, you don't have to do that.
I mean, go ahead.
I mean, I was going to do it anyway.
You're thinking
Okay,
of like
well, then
flog as
carry
in
on.
like the flagellation. John means it as in like he's gonna go sell himself for like a couple of quid. Just down he means it in the English flog.
No,
not the-
I
Whipping
thought
himself in the back
flogging was
flog.
going to be like another term for masturbation or something.
Hey, it can be all of the above. So, you know.
I've been flogging
I'm
my Molly.
game for... I'll do all of those one after another.
I can say that
Whatever works.
the yin and yang is in fact it's a comic illusion. It's from Matt Wagner's story arc Faces, Batman Faces from 1992. I think it was 1990 or 92. It was a very weird story in which Two-Face recruits a load of circus performers, like people from the Freak Show, as it
How
would have been called
original.
back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's very like the kind of Todd Browning Freaks. It's like, oh, he's going to use this gang of like people, like, oh, they got like feet coming out of their chests.
The
and
contortionist that does like weird stuff, and then the guy that eats things.
Yeah.
So it's basically what I've always wanted the Joker's gang to be in '89.
the thing is, because he keeps going like, oh yeah, we're gonna go and like in this Zeppelin that he's got the thing, the yin yang painted at the side of, gonna go dump stuff in Gotham, and everyone's gonna be a freak like me and stuff like that. And he keeps saying to Batman like, look, all these freaks have joined up with me, and like, you know, they're the shunned, they're the outcast of society like me. And then the freaks start going like, no, I've got like a house and a family, dude. Like, I'm only here because you threatened my family. Like, I'm not. I have no skin in your game, Harvey.
That's a
Like,
great twist.
yeah, at the end they're just like, no, dude, screw you. Just gonna leave him alone and stuff. But and Harvey's like, no, you are shunned like me and stuff. And then he runs into a carnival and he meets another Two-Face. A guy's got like a huge tumor over one side of his face, and the guy's like, dude, you gotta stop what you're doing. You're giving Two-Faces a bad name. Essentially.
Two-Faces? That's a thing.
But it's, yeah. So apparently, though, this is directly from Matt Wagner's Faces, which is it's weird though. Like they just took that one thing because like nothing else about this is in like no story elements or anything are carried over. It's just like, oh, we like that yin yang.
I don't know. I just think that it's sort of like lazy story writing when you sort of like just pick a random symbol that has nothing to do with anything else that you do except for the fact that it has a duality aspect of it. I just think it's like, let's study yin yang in there. It's like, yeah, you and every 17-year-old with a hippie poster on their wall.
Yeah.
Or it was an Easter egg for people who really liked that Browning series.
Maybe the three people that read it.
Sure, that's who Easter eggs are. Like, that's true fan Easter
eggdom.
Yeah.
Well, there are more Easter eggs in the Schumacher movies than the Burton ones, to be fair. So it's possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, so far, I mean, at least.
Yeah, but it's so far, it's already more than Burton had in both of his movies.
Well, that's like a lot of ours were like, this could be alluding to this. It's probably not, but it could be. You never know.
Yeah, but Burton went out of his way not to put these things in.
Because he didn't want to wind up with Easter egg on his face.
No.
Although, again, speaking of Easter eggs, we do get like another big honking one in something we briefly discussed last week, though. But we have the Lady of Gotham, which is now having a helicopter smashed into her face.
What was the other name again that it said it was called? It was the
Statue of Liberty?
Statue of Justice.
Statue of Liberty, yeah. They've renamed it to the Statue of Justice, apparently, which that sounds very oppressive, I thought.
I think there might have been some level of confusion amongst just all the various references that this thing is kind of making, because the scripts I've seen, this is referred to as, you know, Lady of Gotham.
Yeah.
But in like the Wikipedia and stuff, they call it the Statue of Justice, which is what it was referred to in the animated series. But the animated series was adapting it appears in, you know, Batman the animated series as as the Statue of Justice there. It features in the episode Off Balance, which is the episode that introduces Talia al Ghul, and the League of Shadows. The first time they make their appearance in the animated show is on the Statue of Justice. There's a big old scrap on there. And then there's Count Vertigo, a really silly villain voiced by Michael York, shows up, which is always a joy to behold. And then it also features in Shadow of the Bat Part 2, which is a story where Two-Face is the main villain. So I guess it's appropriate.
Oh, it's an Easter egg. Yeah.
Yeah, and Batgirl actually crashes a boat into the bottom of it, which is, you know, kind of related. But even though Off Balance was actually an adaptation of a Denny O'Neil story called Into the Den of the Death Dealers.
That's a lot of alliteration.
It's like one of our outros.
Yeah. I'm liking your style, O'Neil.
Holy Den of Death Dealers.
But that was also the comic introduction of Talia al Ghul, and in that it was called the Statue of Freedom. So you get even more confused. It was like, what do you call this thing? But, and this is the thing though, an Easter egg for Bat Minute listeners. They might recall this all the way back in season 1, and I'm wondering if there was any element of like that's where the seed of this thing came from. Is that you might recall in the original Batman movie, there was supposed to be a whole sequence where the Joker unveiled a statue of himself in town that was supposed to be John T. Gotham. And it was supposed to be a whole big thing where Batman came in on a horse and it was all very silly. It linked into the Robin scene that, you know, they had in the deleted things where like Mark Hamill came in to do the voice of the Joker for this animated storyboard they found and stuff. But in the very first Sam Hamm draft, the Gotham 300 Centennial celebration, instead of the 200 Centennial, which they have in the finished film, was all based around the unveiling of a refurbished Lady Gotham. It had a big Statue of Liberty, and upon her unveiling, was supposed to pull down the thing, and then because it was quite near the climax, it would turn out that the Joker had drawn a big Joker face on the Statue of Liberty, essentially.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then he showed up in a helicopter and started friggin' poisoning people with the gas and stuff. So I'm wondering, like, at some point, someone, the bachelors who wrote this script, the original script for this, if they were like, oh yeah, I remember they had access to the old scripts, and they were like, oh, I like that idea. Like, yeah, let's work in this big Statue of Liberty thing. Or if they were going for, I saw an episode of the animated show, and that had a Statue of Liberty in it. Or I was reading this old Den of the Death Dealers comic book, and that had a Statue of Liberty thing in it. So it could have come from any of those sources.
So I've always had a weird issue with DC's amalgamation of cities and their geography and their topography.
I've been waiting for this.
It drives me nuts because it's like Gotham is Chicago, but there's the Statue of Liberty there. But then in the Snyder movies, Gotham and Metropolis were across the bay from each other. Like,
yeah.
And then was it Central City is supposed to be San Francisco or something like that? I don't know. It's like there's no way to relate a lot of times to the DC world because they just keep adding elements and you think you're one thing and then it turns out it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd kind of rather it was just a fictional world in general and not trying to be our world, but not.
It really does a lot of times feel like a parallel universe that they're trying to build, which also makes it hard to relate to because those are always like these things that no one cares about. I mean, if you've seen The Flash, you know how little people give a crap about parallel universes.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. And I don't get it either because what was the inspiration for this Gotham again? We did talk about it a couple of weeks ago.
This was, I think it's established now that Gotham's supposed to be New Jersey. But of course the name Gotham comes from an old, like, kind of affectionate slang term for New York.
Yeah.
So again, it's kind of like
statues here.
Yeah, so it's like, it's just a city. It's a city. Like it's got whatever cities have.
I think
statues
it's
outside it and stuff.
Whatever suits the filmmaker, because then in the Nolan movies, it looks completely different again.
Yeah.
Oh, Nolan movies,
the second one especially.
It's just flat out just Chicago.
Yeah, and the thing is,
made any effort.
Maybe that's a reason why we can gravitate and lock on so hard to the Nolan movies is because they're grounded in some form of reality.
Whereas these ones are like, there's a Statue of Liberty that has a Taj Mahal over there. It's got the Easter Island heads just over there, but they're
so
like
it's giant bat
heads or something.
Oh, John, I think that's it.
It is Las Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
You walk like 100 yards down the street and you're in a different country.
Yeah. It's a small world after all.
We've cracked it.
I love that about Vegas. I've never been.
I do too.
From afar, the way it's so tacky and like cheesy and stupid and corny. It's like, let's just have a Statue of Liberty. We'll have some pyramids.
But it's not cheap. It's all done with like
it's life size,
great expense. It's and they lean in so hard on a theme, and I love leaning hard on a theme. That sounds strange when you say it. I love themes.
Yeah, if you're gonna go for it, go all the way.
Yeah, that's the thing I like about Vegas.
See, if it was Vegas, though, to allude to George's previous appearance on this show, like I would love a scene of like Tom Jones is playing Gotham. Yeah. And just Oswald Cobblepot comes up to him and says like, you're Tom Jones, ain't you? It ain't unusual, Tom. And for some reason, the Penguin's just hanging out with Tom Jones for the rest of the movie.
It's not unusual to be assaulted by a bat.
It's not in this city. Jesus. Everyone's been attacked by the Batman, seemingly.
Although that's the thing, though.
He gets around.
Later on in this minute, though, I was happy to hear that his reputation has improved amongst the general public because like we're so used to, particularly nowadays, where everyone like the press are always like, oh, Batman, oh, is he a menace and all this sort of stuff. And even the first friggin' movie, it was like winged freak terrorizes. And then this movie, they're like, oh, despite a valiant attempt by Batman to apprehend, like, oh, they congratulate him. The helicopter still crashed into the monument at the front of the friggin' city.
Oh,
but at least Batman tried. You know, he was doing his best. I was like, oh, it's nice that they've turned around on him.
That's a good point. And I like that you brought up the helicopter, because we didn't actually mention this. It crashes into the statue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And is it just me, or does this statue break far too easily?
It looks like it's made out of porcelain.
Yeah. Like, I'm no expert, but I'd imagine that like a statue probably wouldn't really get that smashed up by a helicopter blade.
Yeah, she'd like get a bit dinged up, pretty, some scratching, but yeah, that's those
smashes to
helicopter
pieces.
blades would not be able to just wipe out her eyes like that.
She can take it.
She would
She's
have
a
one of those
harbor
cool
chick.
scars that kind of like runs from her forehead to her cheek that kind of like jumps over her eye. So she's got this sort of like badass look instead of this like,
Yep.
oh, look, half your face blew up.
Yeah.
Well, actually, a week or two ago, we were talking about how it would make more sense if this statue was the Statue of Justice. You know, the one that's got the blindfold on and the scales and things.
Mm-hmm.
But the helicopter blades specifically slice her eyes.
Yeah.
Is that an allusion to the Statue of Justice?
Well, see, but
Justice
then
being
when
blind.
you get to second 40, it's like you're going to see very clearly that not both of her eyes are blinded, just half of her face is broken.
That's true.
And presumably Two-Face is swimming away, but like, oh, that's
It's like, I didn't even
convenient
plan that.
happenstance.
That's it's awesome.
He's going back to Sugar and Spice. He's like, oh, you should have seen it. I didn't mean to, but I crashed it into like half her face. It
He's
was
all
amazing.
smug, like he's playing pool and sunk a ball when he didn't even remotely mean to do it. He's like, yeah, I totally meant to do that. I was like, no, you did. No, you didn't. That doesn't
I
count.
imagine, too, the guy's mood has got to change because he was cackling away as he was parachuting out, like not realizing that he's also going to have to swim back into Gotham Harbor, and that water is going to be freezing. Like, it's going to be sub-zero temperatures. And they got to freaking get rid of the parachute. He has to swim all the way back by himself in, like, his leopard skin business suit. Like, it's not... like, he's happy for that instant. But, like, I imagine after that, he's just like, oh, Christ.
Like, I didn't think this through.
I regularly go for nighttime swims in my business suits.
Yeah. I mean,
It's the only way to do
they're
it.
very breathable.
Yeah.
I think, actually, the thing is, though, because of we already know the weight of, like, this bat suit. When Batman jumps into the water... It's almost more likely that he's going to die via drowning because of the weight of the thing with the weight of the water on top of it.
Yeah,
So-
but rubber is buoyant.
Is skin-tight rubber molded to pecs as buoyant as you're thinking it is?
Yeah, it's making me buoyant right now.
Oh. Brings me up for air. Whew.
Oh, man. That's
Say hello to my snorkel.
The thing is, also, people would be remiss if didn't also mention about Lady Gotham. If anyone's played Arkham Knight, you can go to the statue of Lady Gotham as well. I think it's where Azrael's final test is there. Deacon Blackfire's trying to sacrifice Jack Ryder in front of it at one point. There's a Riddler trophy there, because of course there's friggin' Riddler trophies everywhere.
By that point, I stopped giving a crap about the Riddler trophies. I think.
Yeah, I think that one they try to go for like the best of all worlds, because like they've got like a winged woman with a blindfold, like the Statue of Justice, but she's got a sword and a shield, which is from the animated series. So I think they're like, oh, just bring it all together, just get it all.
That's because
in there.
the architects when they built this Gotham just totally bought like all of the build out pack options on the sim. So you just start lumping them in there. It's like, well, let's give her wings and then like a sword and make a flaming sword. Yeah, that's awesome. And just like whatever's in there, they just put it on there.
That's like an 8-year-old designed it.
Yeah. Restraint, people. Restraint.
It needs a racing stripe. It needs flames up the sides.
She needs to have skulls tattooed on her hands.
Yeah.
Need to have some wings for wind resistance. You know, the usual. But yeah, so that we do get like, oh, the thing is, I kind of wish they'd made more of this throughout the rest of the movie, though, because like that seems like in the 86 Sam Hamm draft, like that's the Joker's, making a grand statement by having like, I've taken over this town, but like, look, the Statue of Liberty thing you had at the front, it's now got a big Rictus Joker grin on it. So it's like a statement of like, this is my city. Whereas this kind of like, this could have been like, oh, Two-Face is friggin' running Gotham. Look, he's friggin' defaced half the face of Lady Gotham. But it's never mentioned again throughout the movie. It's just like, yeah, that happened. I guess they made the statue out of that same stuff that Alicia's mask was made out of in the first movie, and there's like, oh, you smash it, it goes down like a house of cards. But yeah, it just seems like, oh, it's a shame you couldn't have done. Just show it later on. Just have it like, oh yeah, still there, still got the big gaping wound in her jaw and stuff.
We haven't figured out how to fix it.
What if they covered up the hole in her face with a mask like Alicia's mask in the first Batman?
Oh, that'd be good.
That would have been a great Easter egg. Come on,
Yeah.
you're letting us down, Joel.
Come on.
And then it's just like later on, like someone asks, like, "Oh, what happened?" The Lady Gotham, like, "Oh, Lady Gotham threw herself out the window."
Yep.
It's just like, what window was this? Like, oh, the window to the Western world.
Oh, I like that. We're getting philosophical and deep and political.
Justice.
Yeah.
Justice.
That's all inspired by that yin yang. Like, that's what it's there for, is to get people thinking about the deeper issues.
I should read sections of the Tao, the Chinese text I have next to me. I will read one each episode from now on to relate with the yin yang concept.
But anyway, yeah, as we talked about briefly earlier, then we do get a hard cut to daylight, for one thing.
So just ridiculously bad computer generated Gotham fly-in.
I don't think it's
really
that bad,
hate
though.
it.
I
It
don't
looks
think it's
like someone got really trying to do like a fancy remake of the Dire Straits video.
I think it looks like Coruscant. I can never say Coruscant properly. There you go. It looks
did
like that
just
to
now.
me. Yeah, like Rick Ollier would be introducing us to this scene.
The whole
That's just like-
city's just one big Play-Doh piece.
Rick Ollier would look at this going like, you know what, Annie? Some people like money for nothing and their chicks for free.
Oh, double whammy.
That's the thing is, though, like, say around second 41, it's going past, like, you have loads of, like, oh, this kind of gothic looking, sort of, you know, standard buildings. And then there's one that looks like a giant, like, it's like a corpse that's been wrapped up for disposal. Like,
Yes.
someone's going to dump it in the river or something. It's like, what the hell is that thing?
Oh, that's the
looks like-
Cocoon building.
It looks like that building that they have in London, the Shard or whatever.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that thing.
Yeah, but
That's
that
what
looks
I
like a
thought of.
glass football. This looks like
I definitely thought
disposal.
it. Well, it was the first thing I thought of when I saw this building.
Unless that is, like, the move Lady Gotham and this is her under repairs. It's like, oh, we have to cover up the whole damn thing.
Oh.
Or this is a previously defaced statue by another supervillain. And they're like, oh, we have to cover up. We're selling so many tarps. The tarp industry in Gotham is gangbusters.
All
But-
of the villains are secretly in league with the tarp companies.
yeah, they're
okay.
in the pocket of Big Tarp.
Much like this podcast, we're sponsored by
Big
many,
Tarp.
many
Big
people
Tarp.
with Big Tarp.
Although we do also got, like, the red and white towers. Which are
Like
kind of alluding back to, like, us kind of like in Batman Returns, you had a lot of red and white. And it's like, oh, I wonder if it's something
yeah.
to do with Max Schreck's planned power plant. I wonder if
Yeah.
that's where it ended up.
I'm
I
kind of
actually
curious
think-
as if this waterfall that we see next is aesthetic or if it's like some sort of sewage runoff.
Oh, I assumed it was some sort of like hydroelectric power.
Yeah, because Wayne Enterprises will have the best sort of technology. He probably wants it to be all ethical and things. He'll have it running on renewable energy, I think.
They're a leader in
No.
clean energy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could
Also
see him
another
being-
Iron Man reference.
Oh, God, yes. But this city, right, it does look different, as we've talked about. It looks quite different, but it doesn't feel totally alien. Like, to me, it does still feel like we're in a similar world and maybe things have changed. You know, tastes have changed, things like that. It doesn't feel completely removed to me.
It feels like 1920s cartoon New York to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Except
100%.
whoever designed the city just had the biggest hard on for statues.
The 1920s.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because just panning over, you see like that weird Baldwin in the background. There's 4 or 5 just on the Wayne Enterprises alone.
Mm.
And-
I
and,
say
like,
again, the 1920s.
Yeah,
And-
that actually is like the Barbara Ling did the production design for this, Liz, and that's exactly what she was going for, like 1920s, 1930s New
A
York.
great job.
It's got a very Bioshock feel.
One thing though, I'm fairly certain this must be the first minute. This minute will be the first we've ever seen of Wayne Enterprises in
It
this
is,
whole
yeah,
side.
yeah.
Like, it's been alluded to. than the other two movies, but we've never been in it. We've seen Bruce Wayne conduct business, but he was in Max Schreck's office. We've seen, them talking about Wayne Enterprises and stuff. We've never seen the building and stuff. So here it is. Here is the hub of Bruce Wayne's fortune. You don't know how much land he covers either, because does he own everything you can see? Does he just own that building?
Everything the sun touches is ours.
It all belongs to Bruce.
That was
beautiful.
I didn't read the story, but I did get a slight relief in seeing the headline the other day of Elton John blasts Lion King remake. It's like, oh, thank God everyone's agreeing that it was awful.
As long as Elton's on board, then my feelings are valid.
It's more just pointless. Like, why? You've got the better one.
It's so stupid to make, let's do the same thing, but with real animals.
But they're not real
animals. They're still animated. They're just
CGI
animated to look real.
Fake, yeah, it's like, technology's gotten better, but it's not better than actual animation.
No, that's the thing. Like, I understand the point of the live action remakes. Okay, like that has a purpose, even if I don't necessarily like them more. But this isn't live action. It's animation.
It's still, it's just animation it's like pretentious animation.
Yeah.
The thing is, the dingus who made that, we can blame him personally in the next minute because he friggin' pops up.
John Favreau?
John Favreau. The
He
spoiler
made that?
for. Yeah, it was him directed that, wasn't it?
I think so. He was involved with it, at least.
He's fallen a long way since the first Iron Man.
He sure has.
Oh, his directorial career is up and down. Like it's just like everything about him is just like he keeps kind of going for like when he hits, and when he misses. Like
We gotta swing for the fences.
Yeah, he's always swinging for the fences.
Hey, that's passion, baby. He's going for it. But we hear that was a difficult sentence to say. We hear a news reporter speaking, saying that despite a valiant effort by Batman, Harvey Two-Face is still at large. And, like, should the news really be calling him this, Harvey Two-Face? It sounds kind of insulting, and you're also playing into his hand. He wants to be known.
the whole business of calling him Harvey Two-Face is something like, I know in interviews and stuff around the movie, Tommy Lee Jones kept constantly referring to him as Harvey Two-Face. But I remember like when The Dark Knight came out and they kind of like they did like, oh, what was that name they had down for me in Internal Affairs? Like, oh, Harvey Two-Face. And I was like, that's stupid. I don't remember being called Harvey. It was either Harvey Dent or Two-Face. But apparently it is a thing from the comics. People called him Harvey Two-Face. But I was like, no, I guess maybe it's, he is a dual personality guy.
No,
Harvey
like
Two-Face
it.
is appropriate, but I
like it
it
in that explanation you just said, though, where it's like, a nickname people had for him because they didn't like it. That makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then it's been twisted. But here, it's like the news reporters calling him Harvey Two-Face.
Yeah.
That seems weird. If they learnt nothing from Jack the Ripper, you don't make someone famous like this.
But see, the news likes that. Like, the cops don't want people to, like, sensationalize it, but the media loves to have a name to latch on. I think that's how all these guys get their
True.
names. Like,
The
BTK
Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac Killer, that sort of thing.
But then we hear that Bruce Wayne of Wayne Enterprises has extended his profit-sharing program to his electronics division.
What?
So, good work, dude. We stan our Marxist millionaire.
Well, it was just one division, though. I don't give him too
but
much credit.
They must be doing really well or something. So he's like,
And
you know
imagine-
what, guys? You can have some of this.
Imagine working in one of the other departments that hasn't gotten that yet.
Yeah.
Like, wait,
Right.
electronics got it first? Of course,
that's a
legal
fair
started
point.
out with it,
I know America has weird laws with regards to employment, but over here, you couldn't give one division like extra stuff and not the rest of the company. You'd be in a lot of
no, you
trouble with the
definitely-
union.
Yeah, that's not a standard thing. That's weird.
Oh, no,
And
yeah.
especially for a company to be as big as Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah,
Just in general.
we actively like deter people from being in unions, so there's none of that like equal pay nonsense here.
Oh, that's crazy to me. That's so strange. Like over here, pretty much, like every single person I work with is in the union. I think like it's kind of expected that you are. So every time I have an argument with my boss, I just go, "Well, I'll call the union," and that seems to solve the problem immediately. It's fantastic.
They find out like, John's not even a member of the union. He just likes hanging it over people's heads.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. I pay my dues. And it gives me money off the Labour Party membership, so it's great.
But yeah, I think that's in terms of notes for this minute. That's all I got. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
Mine are exhausted.
Okay.
Same. We went on a politics route, so I think we should stop.
But one thing we are doing this season that's a little bit new is I'm going to try to get the guests to solve a riddle. It says, and this one isn't that hard, I have to say. This is like one of the ones that you get.
Can you not lead with that?
Yeah, exactly. That's already some pressure.
We're going to look stupid when we don't get it.
Okay.
This one's super hard.
But this one is, riddle me this. I weigh nothing, but you can still see me. If you put me in a bucket, I make the bucket lighter. What am I?
Emptiness.
Weigh nothing, but can still see me. Oh, God damn you, Niall.
Make it lighter?
Air?
Yeah, air is all I could think of.
You can't see it.
You can see it when it blows. When the wind blows.
A helium balloon? I don't bloody know. This is going to be a Friday one, isn't it? We're going to have to leave this.
Remember when he said this one wasn't hard?
Yeah, you piece of trash. What you doing?
Shall I just tell you now? Because again,
No.
I worry that I'll not remember on Friday. So
I will
one of you have to-
remember.
Okay. So we'll leave. Again, people out there, if you do know it, you can type it into the listeners' cave, but don't just look it up. Because that would be the easy route to just look it up and be like, oh, I'm so smart. But yeah, if you do know what it is, feel free to throw it up in the listeners' cave, and hopefully, as long as either I or Liz remember, we'll reveal the answer on Friday.
It'll be remembered. Don't you worry. But for now, we will depart into the dark, dark night. Would our lovely guests like to tell our listeners where they can find them and their shows and whatnot online? Liz, if you'd like to go first.
Sure. So if you would like to hear more about a show I've actually done, you can listen to me on Mean Girls Minute. And if you would like to maybe hear a show with me and George and you've got the patience of a saint, you can get excited about Way to Dune Minute.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Actually, if you want the Way to Dune Minute experience, take Liz's Mean Girls Minute and then listen to it simultaneously with the Mogwai Minute, as in playing them at the same time. And I think you'll get the whole banter thing down pretty well.
Oh my God, that would be good. Someone needs to do 2 separate shows that you can play at the same time every now and then, and they kind of cross over. You'll have to coordinate everything. It'll be like when comic books have crossovers.
Yeah.
Like the Star Wars series crosses over with the Vader one. And you're like, oh, okay.
I can barely get one show out at a time. Try and make me coordinate 2.
You monster.
Do listen to the show that has been put out on time. And George, you've mentioned Mogwai Minute, so I suppose there's... Do you have anything else you'd like to promote, or is that all?
mean, Liz and I guessed on a lot of stuff, but it's like the list is too long to really relate. So that's pretty much it. Everything else is, you can go check out moviesbyminutes.com, and there's a bunch of other shows on there if you want to check those out. We're on there too, but that's you get tired of listening, or you finish our shows, or you get tired, whatever. I'm not trying to dictate your life.
No one can get tired of our shows.
So check that out.
Yeah, make sure you do, everybody, and come and talk to us on Facebook at the Bat Minute Listeners Cave. And check out our website, thebatminute.com. And now I'm going to toss a coin to see if our illustrious guests are allowed to come back, or I'm going to throw them off Wayne Enterprises, the roof, Let's see.
Fingers crossed.
That's a very haphazard way of I guess I'll kill him by, I don't know, I'll throw him off the roof or something.
I was going to go with throwing them off the statue or spiking them up, but I think I did that last week. Let's see then. I'm going to say tails.
Yeah, I don't want to repeat death. I want a fresh original death.
Well, tails you will survive, I think, today. Let's see. Oh, tails. You get to come back on Wednesday, and I didn't cheat.
Nice. Thanks for not cheating.
I've been cheating a lot, but that's not cheating. So we will see you all for more Bat Minute Forever on Wednesday.
Next time, an enigmatic entrance. Manic mitten mashing and a manager growing wary mark the cacophonous coming of a Carey. But while a corporate cog is left agog upon meeting his increasingly irate idol, will the simpering scientist ever end this awkward ovation at his station? Find out Wednesday, same Bat Pod, a different Bat Minute. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.